In a quiet West Virginia town, three teenage girls shared a seemingly unbreakable bond of friendship. Among them was Skylar Neese, a vibrant and promising young woman with dreams of a bright future. Skylar's life was filled with laughter, adventures, and shared secrets that only best friends could know. But beneath the surface of their friendship, a chilling plan was hatching, one that would forever change the lives of those involved. As Skylar's disappearance sent shockwaves through the community, her family and friends clung to hope while grappling with the uncertainty of her fate. The mystery surrounding Skylar's disappearance captivated the nation, drawing attention to the dark side of teenage friendships and the devastating consequences of betrayal. Law enforcement launched a massive investigation, meticulously unraveling the events leading up to Skylar's disappearance. As the truth began to surface, it revealed a sinister betrayal that no one could have anticipated. The murder of Skylar Neese by her two best friends remains to be the most chilling and disturbing case in the last 10 years. She was deceived and murdered by two girls who she believed were her close friends, simply because they didn't like her. How could the two teenagers commit such a brutal crime? What was the motive behind it? This is the story of Skylar Neese, a young woman whose life was tragically cut short. Skylar Annette Neese was an American teenage girl born on February 10, 1996, in Morgantown, West Virginia, United States. She was the only child of David and Mary Neese. Skylar's mother worked as an administrative assistant in a cardiac laboratory, and her father was a product assembler at Walmart. According to her parents, she was a high achiever in academics, excelling in almost all subjects regardless of whether she liked them all or not. Skylar attended high school and university and was a great student. Everyone knew her as a bubbly girl and loyal to her friends. Her dream career was to become a criminal defense attorney. She also worked at Wendy's with her two best friends when she was in school. Skylar had two friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf. Skylar first met Eddy when she was 8 years old and were both in elementary school, and Schoaf came into the picture during their freshman year. Even though Skylar and Eddy were formerly very close friends, Schoaf's arrival allegedly caused a rift between Skylar and Eddy, with both Skylar and Schoaf competing to be closest to Eddy, who enjoyed the attention. Skylar served as an emotional rock for both Eddy and Schoaf, as both had parents who were divorced. Skylar's parents nurtured her intelligence and encouraged her to be herself, and they wanted everything for her. The girls were known to be pretty much inseparable, and both Sheila and Rachel were close to the Neese family as well, especially Sheila, as they have known each other since the second grade, and were practically like sisters with Skylar. However, friends of the girls mentioned that in the few months leading up to Skylar's disappearance, there had been a lot of tension within the group. Skylar felt like she was slowly being pushed away, while the other two got closer and closer. She started to feel like an outcast and unwanted by them. They would hang out often without asking her. They'd come to school wearing matching outfits, and she would always be pushed off to the back whenever they took photos together. On July 5, 2012, Skylar returned to her family's Star City, West Virginia apartment after working a shift at Wendy's. She snuck out to hang with her friends. They resided on the ground floor, and Skylar used a bench under her bedroom window to make it easier to climb out, and was picked up in a car by Eddy and Schoaf at around 12:30 a.m. The following morning, Skylar's parents found out that their daughter had sneaked out through the window, and at the window was a bench she used to reach the exit. CCTV footage showed her leaving but did not capture the people waiting for her. In September 2012, missing person flyers were later posted by Skylar's parents and friends around Monongalia County before the FBI and West Virginia State. Her disappearance was initially treated as a runaway. Skylar's parents called the police to report her disappearance, and they joined the search team. The police found out the car Skylar was last seen boarding was owned by her friend Eddie, who revealed that she picked Skylar but she later dropped her off. Eddie even helped in distributing missing person flyers and frequently checked up on Skylar's parents to ask for updates. Later, Eddie and Shof were questioned. They claimed that Skylar returned home at midnight. Skylar's father mentioned that she did not take her cell phone charger, her toothbrush and toiletries were still in the room, and her window was left open, an indication that she planned on coming back home. Eddie and Shof did not only plan Skylar's murder but also outfitted the trunk of Eddie's car with a serial killer kit, containing things like towels, bleach, a shovel, and a change of clothes for both of them. Additionally, they packed the knives they used to kill Skylar. They planned to kill Skylar, dispose of her body, change their clothes, and head back home as if nothing had happened. They picked her up and drove to a remote place in Pennsylvania where the three used to hang out. They smoked some weed, and the two turned against Skylar and stabbed her to death. On the count of 3, they attacked her with knives, stabbing her until she stopped screaming. Rumors circulated that Skylar went to a house party and overdosed on heroin. Corporal Ronnie Gaskins, one of the investigators in the case, claimed that people told him that the teenager attended a party and died. And so people there panicked and disposed of the body. After killing her, Eddie and Shof planned to bury her body. Nevertheless, the ground was too hard for them to dig with a shovel, so they decided to hide the body in a nearby thicket and covered it with branches. Shof and Eddie returned home and played the part of distressed friends, crying and grieving with Skylar's parents. Shof even tweeted, "Where is that high as this guy?" the name used on Twitter. Both teenagers continued to post scaring messages on social media in the months following the murder. Skylar's father even recalled how Eddie and Shof helped the family distribute personal flyers and how Eddie asked to come and sit on Skylar's bed. Between July 6, 2012, when Skylar went missing, and January 16, 2013, when her remains were discovered by the police, Eddie spoke to Skylar's parents every day, calling Skylar's father. Skylar's father thought that Eddie genuinely cared. She kept on asking for updates and assisted in the search. Skylar's aunt Carol Michaud mentioned in 2013 that Eddie came and acted as if she knew nothing. She pretended and stayed with them and comforted them and swore she had no idea of what was going on. And to come to that day and admit what she did just showed how evil she can be. Skylar's body lay for more than 6 months, until January, when Shof led the police to the crime scene on the 16th of January 2013. In March 2013, after several tests, it was announced that the body belonged to Skylar. On the day that Skylar's body was found, Eddie tweeted, "Rest easy, Skylar. You'll always be my first friend." Some of Eddie and Shof's high school classmates came forward after the girls had been arrested. An unknown student testified that he overheard the two discussing how they murdered and disposed of Skylar's body. Nevertheless, the classmate didn't say anything to the police at first since he thought that Eddie and Shof were joking. When he noticed what transpired, the classmate contacted the police. Police were not sure of Eddie and Shof's motive in killing their friend Skylar. When questioned, they mentioned that they simply grew bored with Skylar and just didn't like her anymore. It was also speculated amongst their peers that Rachel and Sheila were having an intimate relationship, and some people believe that Skylar knew about this and they were afraid of their secret getting out, and that's why they killed her. However, neither of the girls ever claimed this to be true. On December 28, 2012, Shof had a mental breakdown and was sent to a local psychiatric hospital. After being released on January 3, 2013, she confessed to the authority that she and Eddie stabbed Skylar to death. Police then decided to search Eddie's car for evidence, which had been identified in the CCTV footage, and found Skylar's blood in her vehicle. Investigators matched blood samples in Eddie's car to Skylar's DNA, and she was arrested on May 1, 2013 in the parking lot of a Cracker Barrel restaurant. She was charged with first-degree murder and pleaded guilty in January 2014. She expressed no remorse but was sentenced to life in prison with mercy under West Virginia law. She received a life sentence with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Schoaf was also found guilty of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 30 years and was eligible for parole after 10 years. Skylar's father said, "They're both psychos, and they're both exactly where they need to be. Away from civilization, locked up like animals. Because that's what they are, they're animals." Both women are now in their 20s and are currently confined in Lakin Correctional Center. In memory of their daughter, Dave and Mary Neese helped Skylar's Law in West Virginia. It requires Amber Alerts for all missing children, not only those believed to have been kidnapped. To honor their daughter, Dave and Mary transformed the site of her murder into a memorial. Dave makes the 20-mile drive. As we remember Skylar, we honor her memory by advocating for a world where friendship is built on trust, kindness, and respect. Her legacy serves as a reminder that violence and betrayal can have devastating consequences, and we must strive to create a society where young people feel safe and supported. In the end, Skylar Neese's legacy will be one of resilience and hope. May her memory inspire us to stand against violence, support those affected by its tragic consequences, and work together to build a world where every young person can thrive and fulfill their dreams.